Welcome to the Explainer. You know, there's something that could be quietly killing your website's performance, and you might not even see it. We're talking about toxic backlinks. These things are nasty, spammy links that can absolutely tank your search rankings. So today, we're going to show you how to hunt them down and fight back.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get into what a backlink vote even is. Then, we'll figure out how to spot the bad ones. After that, we're doing a full health check on your site, getting our hands dirty with Google's Disavow Tool, and wrapping it all up with why this stuff is so important for your site's defense. Okay, let's dive right in. First section, the backlink vote. Before we can even talk about the danger, you've got to understand why these links are such a big deal to search engines in the first place.
So here's the deal. In the world of SEO, every single link that points to your website, it's basically a vote. It's like another website is shouting out to Google, hey, you should check this out. This content over here is legit and really useful. And well, the more of those good votes you get, the more Google trusts you. Simple as that.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Just like in an election, not all votes are created equal. A link from a big, trusted website, say a major news outlet or an industry leader, that's a huge endorsement. It really boosts your site's credibility. But a link from some random spammy website, that's like a fraudulent ballot. It doesn't just get ignored, it can actively hurt you, damage your reputation, and even lead to penalties.
All right, so how can you actually tell the good links from the bad? What are the warning signs you need to be looking for to know if a link is actually toxic and doing more harm than good? Okay, think of this like a most wanted poster for bad links. The signs are pretty obvious once you know what to look for. You've got links from sites that are just pure spam, or links where the clickable text, that's what we call anchor text, has absolutely nothing to do with your content. Another massive red flag? A sudden explosion of thousands of new links out of nowhere. It's just not natural. And trust me, search engines are really good at sniffing this kind of stuff out.
And this really gets to the heart of the risk. People are always trying to cheat the system, right? They'll buy links, use all sorts of shady tricks. We call that black hat SEO. And sure, it might give you a tiny boost for a little while, but when Google finds out, and they always find out, your site can get totally blacklisted. All that hard work, gone. Poof.
Okay, it's time for a checkup. Before we can prescribe the cure, we've got to diagnose the problem. And that means it's time to conduct a full backlink audit.
Now, I know backlink audit sounds kind of scary and complicated, but it's really not. With the right tools, it's a pretty straightforward three-step deal. First, you'll use a platform like SEMrush or Ahrefs to pull up a complete list of every single website that's linking to you. Then, the tool does all the heavy lifting. It analyzes those links and gives each one a toxicity score based on all the red flags we just talked about.
And when it's all done, you'll get a report that looks something like this. It breaks down your entire backlink profile into these neat categories. You'll see what's good, what's a little sketchy, and what's just plain toxic and needs to be dealt with, like yesterday.
Okay, so you've done your homework, you've found the culprits, now what? Let's talk about the solution. And luckily, Google gives us a very specific tool to help neutralize these threats.
I mean, this is the big question, right? You can't just email thousands of spammers and politely ask them to take down their links. That's not going to happen. So what's the real solution here? And the answer is a powerful little feature called Google's Disavow Tool. The best way to think about it is like filing an official report directly with Google. You're basically raising your hand and saying, hey, Google, these links over here, they're junk. They're not for me. Please just ignore them when you're figuring out my ranking. It's your official line of defense. Now, this is super important to understand. Disavowing a link does not actually remove it from that other website. It'll still be out there. What it does do is tell Google to put on blinders, to just pretend it doesn't even exist. You've basically cut its power. You've neutralized the threat without ever having to contact the spammer.
Okay, enough theory, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through, step by step, exactly how to create your disavow file and send it off to Google.
Here is the playbook. 6 easy steps. You start in your audit tool, where you gather up all those toxic and sketchy domains. You add them to a dedicated disavow list right there in the tool. Then you just export that list as a simple text file. The tool does all the formatting for you. After that, you head over to Google's official Disavow Tool page, pick your website from the list, and upload that file. That's it.
Now, the formatting of this file has to be exactly right, which is why I really recommend you let your audit tool create it for you. It's got to look just like this. See how each line starts with domain : followed by the bad website? That one little line tells Google ignore everything from this entire website. It's a really powerful way to clean house. All right, we've gone through the problem, the real danger, and the step-by-step solution. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you really need to remember from all of this?
Let's pull back for a second and think about the big picture. We spend so much time on offense, creating amazing new content, building good quality links, but why is playing defense, cleaning up this kind of mess, every bit as crucial?
Because at the end of the day, building a successful website isn't just about moving forward. It's also about protecting the ground you've already gained. Think of a regular backlink audit as the best insurance policy for your website. It's the proactive defense that makes sure all the blood, sweat, and tears you've poured into your site doesn't go to waste. It keeps your hard-earned authority safe and sound.